welcome back to my channel. My name is Tatiana. I'm a business coach and a mentor, and I love inspiring you to get out of your own way and go for the things that you want in your life. We are currently in the middle of a series right now all about launching a stationery business in 2025. So if that is you, make sure you comment down below. I am launching my stationery business in 2025, and we are actually in the third video of this series talking all about this topic. I love to talk about it. I love to share all of my tips and things that I've picked up along the way over the years. And there's little gems and tidbits all over this channel. So make sure that you check out the playlists and things that I've put together to go along with this series to really support you and help you when it comes to getting started with stationery. So today we're going to be talking about how to find a niche for your business as well as your products and how to stand out. Because in a sea of so many people doing a lot of similar things, it can feel like you are just one of the masses. And even though that can be the case, there are still things you can do to stand out, just to feel like a unique business, to give your customers a reason to care and want to shop with you and support you. And I think it really all comes down to some of these things we're going to talk about in today's video. So before we get into that, make sure you download the Stationery Biz Starter Pack to really get you geared up for this declaration of starting your business this year. It's going to give you a checklist with some tools and equipment that you may need to use. It has a roadmap that's going to help you get it from idea to launch, and then also a preview of chapter 1 of my planner and notebook ebook. So make sure you download that. You also have some other little goodies in there when you get the initial email, so stay tuned. And I have been sending out emails as well to just remind you about the series that's going on so that you do not miss a thing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video. So if you have watched a couple of the other videos in this series, then you know I am a big believer in starting with one, and that is going to translate to this as well. I think it is important to start with one when it comes to that one customer, that one message that you want to share. This is really going to allow for you to have clarity around what you're doing. And a lot of times I've met with women over the years, and they have shared how they have so many ideas, so many things they want to create. They'll want to do a wedding planner, and then they'll want to do a finance planner and a self-care planner and a planner for business owners. And the sky is the limit. And I never want to shy anybody away from doing all of the things that they want to do. But I also don't want you to feel overwhelmed, and I don't want you to feel like you are marketing to everyone. I want you to feel like you are marketing to your one. And so when I say start with one, I mean really deciding, okay, what is the one idea that we can really take and run with right now? So if you are a person that you know you want to create a lot of different types of products for a lot of different types of people for a lot of different stages in life, let's reel it on in and let's decide who we want to work with and identify and kind of like establish everything for this first initial launch of getting things off the ground. And then remember, you can always expand later, right? You can always do more later, but just having that one thing is really, really important. So I encourage you, when you're thinking about this point, if you're like, okay, I don't even know where to begin with this, definitely take a look at that roadmap, first of all, within the Stationery Starter Kit. But also, I want you to really ask yourself, okay, if I'm going to pick this one thing, even though I have a lot of ideas for a lot of people, what is the one that gets me the most fired up? What am I most excited to create? What is the one that I can really see myself talking about nonstop for at least the next 3 to 6 months? What is the one that, you know, just keeps me up at night? It gets me excited. It's the one that I'm really excited to bring to the forefront. I feel like that might be the one, right? That might be the one that's on your heart and the one that you want to take and run with for right now and really niche down for this specific time. And the benefit of niching, not only does it give you clarity around what to talk about, but it also helps people to be very clear on where they are as well. So, you know, if you land on somebody's website and you see that they have planners for like everything under the sun, that might feel overwhelming when you're just like, I'm really just looking for a home management planner, right? And so if you get on somebody's site and everything is very specific to home management, and they have a home management notepad, and they have content specific to home management, and then they have their home management planner, and they have checklists for it, you feel a lot more at home, and you feel a lot more sure of like, oh, I think I might want to get this person. They've really like dove into all of the things that I've been really needing, that I want to have for my home management system. I think I'm going to check this one out. It's just something about making someone feel like they're in the right place that makes it not only extra special, but it just gives you that extra edge, right? It helps you to stand out amongst the rest because you have really honed in on this specific thing, and people can feel like, oh, like, I love it here because this is what I'm looking for right now. It's fitting everything that I need, and you can always expand later. I just want to keep saying that. You can always expand later. So as you think about that, comment down below with any questions you have, and also share what is going to be your specific type of thing that you are planning on niching down for. The best way that I can explain how to do this is to really understand the market and to understand who your customer is. And when we look at the market, we can look at a lot of different things. You can see what people are out there selling already, what is doing well, right? You know, the way to know what is doing well is just seeing like what's trending, like what are people purchasing, what are people enjoying, what are people doing hauls on, just as far as things that they might be purchasing for the new year, especially if we're talking about things like a planner. What types of planners are really getting momentum? And then you will see maybe it might be more of a general type of planner that people can just use for all things, right? That might be the start. Or you may specifically want to cater to moms and you want to create a planner that is specifically for moms in the postpartum season of their life. That's something that I'm getting ready to be getting into myself personally. And so whatever it is, you really want to get specific on that and at least be able to, in a sentence or two, explain who this product is going to be for, why they need it, and how they'll be able to use it to help them. So we're going to use a planner, for example. When I first launched my planner, I decided that I was going to out the gate create planners for entrepreneurs. Even though I knew I wanted to create just more of a general planner that could be for anyone, I really wanted to start with something that not only was I known for, it was something that I kind of already built my platform on, talking about entrepreneurship. So it was kind of a natural fit. But it really allowed for me to know who I was talking to. It allowed for me to have a very specific and clear message, a very specific and clear launch plan. And it allowed me to create different aspects of the launch plan that went with the fact that I had my one thing, my one person, my one message. So when I decided I wanted to launch these planners, I decided that I was going to do a business planner. And this has still been the case even up until now. I launched my planners back in 2020, and so it has been going on 5 years since I've done that. And it's a great market. Like, I love it. Business planners do really well. And again, it allows for me to have a lot of versatility within that topic of what I can talk about and how I can use those things to market. But if you are kind of wondering like, okay, well, how can I actually decide this, or what are some different things I can do? Conducting market research is always a great way. One way I love to do this is to poll either my existing audience. So if you already have a social media platform that you currently are on or using, ask people on there. They love to participate. You can create a survey that you can send out to people. And if you don't have an online presence yet, you can also just poll the people that you know. Poll your family, your friends, your coworkers, and just kind of get an idea of what people are interested in. Even if it's not necessarily your ideal person in the beginning, I think that's fine, because sometimes it's just nice to just get a feel of what people are interested in other than you. We can get caught up a lot of times in what we're interested in, what we like, what we think is best, but sometimes just having conversations with people is great. One of the things that I loved doing years ago in my business was I conducted these informational interviews with people, and it was about a half hour. And I had a list of questions that I asked them. And what it did for me, most of the people were my target audience because I presented it in a way letting people know that I was looking for people that were aspiring or brand new to business, that were getting started, specifically that were interested in creating stationery products. and was looking for a little bit of some insight. And so the first half of it, I did an interview where I asked them questions, and it was all catered to me trying to get to know my target audience better. And then the second half was opportunity for them to ask me any questions as someone that was a bit more experienced, even if it was just a few steps ahead, to be able to help them get clear on what they wanted to do with their business endeavors. And so what I loved about that whole thing was not only did I get to meet some amazing women, but it also allowed for me to get the language that I needed for how I wanted to market my products and my services when it came to just the business that I wanted to run and how I wanted to show up and what I wanted to say, because sometimes it can be hard to figure it out when you are in the creation phase. And so to hear people kind of saying those same words back to you, sometimes those interviews, those polls, those surveys, they will really give you kind of like that golden ticket to give you some things to talk about. It'll give you content ideas. It'll give you product ideas. It might help you with something you're getting stuck on with your product, or it may make you think about a different way you want to put something together just simply off of the conversations you have with people. So I think by far market research, in whatever way you feel comfortable doing it, is really, really important. And then what that actually does for number 3 is it gets you to know who your ideal customer is. And so I'm sure you all have heard of, avatars or an ideal customer profile. There's so many different things. Your target market, whatever lingo it is, it's basically who is your one person. Okay, I'm keeping it simple. Who is your one person that you are marketing to and getting specific on this person? So demographics, psychographics, meaning, who are they? How old are they? Are they male? Are they female? Where do they typically live? What type of job do they have? What are their interests? Those are things that you really want to know, because it can speak to how you present and show up for your business, how you decide on your brand colors. It might be how you decide on the type of content you do. If you have someone that's a lot more professional, then that might be the way that your content goes, where if it's someone that's a little bit more someone that's a little bit more carefree, lighthearted, your content may be a little bit more silly or entertainment based. So it's important to be able to identify, okay, who is this person? Who are they? And then psychographics wise, like what are their behaviors? What keeps them up at night? What are the things that they love? And then what are the things that they dislike? How much money are they comfortable spending on the types of products that you're planning on launching? A lot of this stuff you can figure out from those interviews and just talking with different people. But a lot of it you can also learn just from spectating too, and just seeing what other businesses are doing and how their customers react and behave, and just watching sometimes too is also really great as well. And it gives you a well-rounded sense of, okay, who is this ideal person that I'm creating? And over the years, I have tweaked her, I've perfected her, and it changes depending on what I'm launching. It depends on what arm of my business I'm using, honestly, because I don't do just products. So it really helps for you to take the time out to do some of this kind of like groundwork, essentially, because it's going to be something that will grow with you over time. And no matter what product you choose to create, if you choose to pivot or shift things, you still have this one person that you are targeting and that you're working towards continuing to grow and build trust with, but you can also expand from that person as well. And so it's very, very important to figure out who is this ideal person that you're marketing to. And there's so many ways of doing that using some of those tools that I mentioned. But at the end of the day, just make sure that you do take the time out to do that, because it's an important step that people tend to skip and then wonder like, well, why is no one interested? And it's like, because you're not speaking to the right person, right? You're not speaking to the people that you need to speak to. And you want to have a grasp on that. All right, so number 4. Value. Okay, I can shout it from the rooftops, sing it all day long. Providing value is so important, and I think above all, this is something I'm super passionate about and that I have loved to do within my business over the years, because even though I'm selling products, right, or courses or whatever it may be, when you are selling products to people, there has to be a little bit of something else, right? Like there has to be something you're bringing to the table that will get people either in the door, it'll get people starting to get familiar with your brand, and most importantly, it starts to build trust. I actually recorded this video a couple years ago. I'm going to pop it right here, and it's all about building trust and how to do that. And so that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying this value thing. We're going to talk a little bit more about this even deeper in next week's video in this series, but essentially value is going to be something that you are offering outside of just the physical product that you're selling to people. And so a great example, if we want to go back to using like that postpartum planner for moms, is yes, it's great to have that product, it's great to market it, but the content is that value. It's what's going to back up the fact that not only is this a great product, but hey, I care about you, right? And so you might have different topics that you talk about through the forms of long form video or reels or newsletters and things that you send out, or tips and tricks that will help women that are in the postpartum season and how they're able to, uncover new things, maybe new things to try out. Maybe it might be a supplement that they can check out, or it may be a meditation that they can do. These are all different things that can help, whether it is something coming directly from your business or it's a resource that you recommend. A personal story is valuable as well. So if you personally have been through something that your audience can relate to, sharing your story is so valuable because it gives people insight not only to who you are as a business owner, but it gives you that human connection, right? It gives you a little bit of a deeper level. It builds the trust. And that is what you want with any business, is you want your people to trust you. You want them to be interested in you and what you're doing. And so these are all different ways. Another really great way, and a way to also build your email list up, is to create what people call a lead magnet or opt-in. And this is where you might have a guide or some type of freebie or a free training, or like I said, a free meditation or something like that, a free devotional, whatever it may be that fits for your audience, that will allow for them to get a quick win, something that you're giving them that you've created from your heart that doesn't really have a price tag attached to it, but it's going to give them value. And from there, the relationship starts to grow. There is this statistic that has been around for years in marketing that they say people typically need about 7 interactions with the business before they even think about purchasing from that business. And so that can come in the form of so many things. If someone is on your newsletter and you're sending out a newsletter every week, they see your content online, they signed up for this freebie that you offer them, they saw you went live over here, they saw this video that you recorded. If they're seeing all of these different things, 9 times out of 10, it's going to stick out in their mind to be like, oh, this is a great go-to person or a go-to business for me to purchase this. And so that is really what it comes down to when you are thinking about the value, right? That word that can be so annoying, I know sometimes, but it is really something that is helpful. It helps to grow businesses. It helps to sustain businesses, and it really gets those relationships to a level that you want them to be. So start thinking about making a list of like, what are the value-based things that you can offer to your one person that will really give them, like I said, those quick wins, the encouragement, the reassurance, the tips, the tricks, the checklists, whatever it may be, that will still couple really well with the products that you are planning to sell, but is giving them a little bit more depth to you, right? Something outside of just the products. And so that's really what it's all about when it comes to niching and all of that. And I know that there's kind of like this love-hate relationship with niching down. I think there's a time and a place for it depending on what you're doing. Like if you are in content creation, I feel like that might be a little bit different with the way things have moved. But when it comes to products, I think you really do want to have some kind of specific focus that you have. Like if you are more of a health and wellness brand, then that might be kind of the realm that you stay in so that people feel at home. Like I said, that is the biggest thing you want to do, is you want people to feel like they're in the right place. And when stuff is kind of all over the place and it's a little bit hard to figure out what's happening, it can be harder for people to connect with your brand. And that is why this is so important. And it's how you're going to stand out as well, because it allows for you to really get specific on what you want to talk about within this category. And then of course, yes, there are going to be other people in the industry. There are going to be other people that are talking about the same topics as you. But like I always say, no one is going to do it the way that you do. And if it's something that's placed on your heart, it is there for a reason. I don't care if 50 million people are doing the same thing. You are still you, and no one is going to do it the way that you do. And if God has called you to do something, there's a reason for that, right? There's still someone out there that may have seen 10 other people talk about it, but it just hasn't resonated with them yet. And your message, your valuable thing that you have to offer, your product might be just what they need to pull them out of that, to help them, to give them that next thing that they're looking for. Maybe they've tried 10,000 planners on the market, but yours is the one that they've been looking for and waiting on. So never count yourself out if you get into just kind of that feeling of like, oh my gosh, so many people are doing this. Yes, they are. There are. I'm going to tell you it. I'm going to continue to be real with you. But at the same time, that does not count you out. That doesn't mean that you can't also be one of those people as well and stand out and do well and love it too, because the more that you're passionate about what you talk about, it shines and it shows through your content, and that is really what resonates with people. So I highly suggest that you take some time, think about some of the things we talked about in this video, and in the next video we're going to be talking all about how to market and some launch tips and some different things like that. It's going to be a good one, so make sure you stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.